Squats are one of the best exercises, but why exactly is it so useful, and what will happen to your body if you squat every day? On the internet, a huge number of photos and videos that show how much people's bodies changed before they started to squat every day, and after a while we can observe this transformation, and the undeniable advantage of squats is, of course, their availability. You can do them anywhere, just at least in your room, watching this video on YouTube. In this video we will tell you what happens to our body from regular squats, what transformations await us, so what to watch video to the end. It will be very interesting and useful, and so let's go. By the way friends, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to do not miss my new products. So, firstly, there are different types of squats. You can squat with your own weight, you can squat with weights, whether it be dumbbells in your hands or a barbell on your shoulders. You can also squat with jumping. However, most people who throw such a challenge for themselves, for example, squat 100 times a day, and of course squat with a classic in a way, that is, legs shoulder width apart or slightly wider, and squat to the state when our thighs are parallel to the floor. Of course, squat 100 times immediately without rest will most people be very difficult. So those people who decide to squat 100 times every day take breaks. For example, 10, 20, 30 times in one set. What muscles work during squats? Well, the first thing that probably comes to mind is the hips and buttocks. In fact, if you start listing them, then the muscles are a huge amount. How many muscles? They are adductor muscles of the thigh, hip flexors of the gastrocnemius muscle of the rectus abdominis, that is, our famous press oblique abdominal muscles. As they are also called lateral press, we will notice this, of course, the strengthening of all those muscles that I will now list, that is, not only the legs, but even the press of squats will affect the growth of muscle mass. The muscles will begin to stand out. It will become noticeable. That is why there are so many photos before and after how people transformed. Because, for example, running and cycling do not practically affect the growth of muscle mass, while squatting is already a more strength exercise and it will have an effect on our appearance. So those people who have not played sports before and set themselves the challenge to squat every day in a month will have significant defects in appearance if they take a photo before and after, which a difference of will be noticeable. The second effect is weight loss in general. General weight loss, a general decrease in the fat mass of the whole organism, because, after all, daily squats is a significant physical activity. Calorie consumption of organisms increases metabolism, accelerates in this way. Those people who squatted not only pumped up their muscles, but also generally became more prominent, dumped hot. The next significant plus is the improvement of blood circulation and strengthening of the cardiovascular system, because squats are an excellent cardio workout. Thanks to this exercise, the tone of the heart muscle increases and blood flow to the heart of their periphery improves, and the circulation of venous blood in the lower body will also The next point of the squat helps to improve posture. Well, the next item will increase your endurance, because squats have a great effect on the functioning of our respiratory system, increase the vital volume of the lungs, and generally teach us to control and coordinate our breathing on exhalation and any relaxation on inhalation, and therefore squats will be useful both for general endurance and for our respiratory system too. The next point is the mobility of our hips and ankles. The fact is that regular squats will significantly improve the mobility of our limbs. And if knee and lower back pain is the result of a sedentary lifestyle, squats with the right technique will help them and treat them. Let's move on. As I said, not only the legs participate in our squats, but also the core is the abdominal muscles, and the lower back of such a squat will pump them perfectly. Especially if there is some kind of weight. Of course, if we want to squat with a barbell on our shoulders, then here it's super important. Just extremely it is important to do it with the right technique, because it is very easy to break firewood here. Squats with a barbell on your shoulders is a very serious exercise that must be done under the supervision of a competent instructor or an experienced athlete who will personally show you how to do it correctly, where you may be wrong, where you need to improve the technique in general. This is very serious, and I urge you, if you want to give invitations, to approach this matter very responsibly. But there are also more harmless modifications, for example, jumping squats, and so on. This type of squat will pump our city very cool, and this will happen because during our cycle it will take. For the participation of the muscles of the stabilizers of the body, this is interesting because we seem to be consciously not straining with the abs and back, yes, when we squat. But nevertheless they are actively involved, and a strong core is very useful where it will be useful to us, including you. It will be very useful as a method of reducing risk and back injury prevention. And of course, it is necessary to say about the different styles of squats. For example, the first type is the classic squats. We place our legs shoulder width apart along the body while inhaling. We take them back because their knees to a right angle or to a parallel state of the hydrocleaver, and on exhalation we return to the starting position. The classic next type is the plie squat. Here there is a much greater emphasis on the gluteal muscles of the leg. We place much wider than the width of the shoulders. We turn the socks outward at a right angle. We put our hands on the train and also squat to pedros parallel to the floor. Squats with are performed in the same way as the classic nose. One nuance: we raise one of the heels, that is, one leg also touches the floor completely and the other only on the masks. The heel is raised and the legs thus alternate. The following type, which I have already told. These are jump squats because jumping is done. This is to increase intensity and also to develop explosive strength. These exercises are often used by sprinters or, for example, people who are professionally involved in football, where you need to accelerate sharply and run quickly. We start just like with the classic squat, legs shoulder width apart. But we squat, we jump so fast, and as soon as our feet touch the floor we immediately begin to squat again. As a bonus, there are also modifications to how we position our hands. The first way, we squeeze our hands into a lock and put them forward while squatting, so it's easiest to keep balance because our pelvis goes way back and our arms go straight forward. Another modification, we can put our hands on the waist. This is a good way to further engage our stabilizer muscles. The next way is hands behind the head and elbows out to the sides. In this way,
the muscles that control our posture work very well. So if you want to improve your posture, then this type of squat is probably your choice. Of course, you need to especially make sure that our elbows are spread apart all the time. And another modification is squats with straight arms pointing up. In this way we pump the muscles of the extensors of the back.
If you like this video, then like and subscribe to my channel, and see you on my other videos. See you soon.